Welcome to the first KNX4U podcast, or as you can see, it's more of a vodcast because we just decided to keep the videos on. My guests today share a big part of history, the one definitely more than the other, but with the latter one, we will definitely see that a new history is going to be created for KNX Spain. KNX Spain is the first KNX national group, which is featured as part of KNX Spain, and therefore I'm very happy to welcome Michael Sartor, current secretary of KNX Spain, and Jordi Auladell, future secretary of KNX Spain. So, hi guys.
Hi. Hi, Christian.
Good. So everybody is ready for the first question, and then I would say we can move to the first question to Michael. As you can hear, like Michael doesn't sound too Spanish, right? So, Michael, we know, or we will learn that you are actually not from Spain yourself. You are from Germany, right? So I guess therefore, like the first question that most of the people are actually interested. Many people go to Spain for holidays, but you stayed there. How come that you stayed there?
Yes, I have started my life in Germany. This is correct. But with only 7 years, I went together with my parents to South America, and I lived a long time in South America. Then I went back to Germany, finished my school and my studies, started working in a German company in Bonn, in the former capital of Germany. And as I was still in this time speaking Spanish, they asked me to go to the subsidiary of this company here in Spain. So now I am living since more than 35 years here in Spain, and I am more Spanish than German. But in any case, my name is Michael. Even everybody here in Spain called me Miguel.
All right. Good. So we see that pretty much, yeah, you've seen the world from South America back to like almost home in Spain. So like, which is now your current home. So it's quite interesting to see that you moved like quite through the whole world. In this regard, I just wanted to, or I also, of course, ask you to send me some information about your past, like how you traveled the world. And one thing that just came pretty much up to there is like that you started to first work, well, not first work, but like that was like one of your stations. It was Möller Electric. Möller Electric is a company called what nowadays, which might like ring some bells.
No, Möller Electric was a family company placed in Bonn, where I started working after the university. They are now belonging to an American company called Eaton. And I started in Möller in Germany in the marketing department for switch gears. But then I switched very soon to the new department inside of Möller with assemblies and systems, both for distribution of energy, but also for industrial automation. So I was, since my beginning, very familiar with automation, but starting with the industrial sector. Then, as I told you, they asked me to come to Spain and to help the Spanish subsidiary here in Barcelona. And since then, I am here in Spain. However, for another 5 years, I also went back to South America because they asked me to build up the South American facilities in several countries. So it was 5 years also in South America.
Okay. Was that then like where you also touched first bases with KNX Elite?
No, my first touch was when I came back from South America to Spain. I started working for AFME. AFME is the Spanish Association for Electrical Equipment Manufacturer, and AFME is also until this year providing the secretary for the KNX Association. Because when KNX started in Spain, all the members were also members from AFME. So the members who are selling KNX devices at this time, they decided inside of AFME to create KNX Spain, and since then AFME is providing the service for the secretary. And since 14 years, I am now the secretary of KNX Spain.
That's a long time. How come that you changed to an association then?
Yes,
like
a lot.
Industry to an association, these are two completely different worlds, aren't they?
I didn't understand.
The question is, why did you go from the industry to the association? This is like something that I personally...
Yeah, just, I started working because I was also always very interested in standardization, and in AFME I am I'm expert of a lot of different standardization committees on national and international level. I am also the convener of several standardization committees. So this was always a very interesting part of my job, and this is only possible inside of an association.
Okay, so you were then pretty much there, like, yeah, when KNX Spain started to become really big, right? So like moved then from the industry to the association. Yeah, then like actually 14 years you said, right? Being the secretary of KNX Spain.
Yeah.
That's a long time. Good. Maybe moving on to Jordi, so that you don't become bored. 14 years ago, what were you doing 14 years ago?
14. Well, I studied computer science, and I worked for 4 years in a software company. And in my 24 years old, I with a friend, we visit a home automation real house, and I was in shock. I was surprised. I decided to leave from my old company and create my own company with that partner to make the smart house. And the first 2 years, we developed all the systems using internet. And when we try to sell, nobody in Spain has internet, only at work. So we lose I lose all my money. And 14 years, I became repairing computers. But in my mind, the idea is start again with home automations. And 12 years ago, I decided start again. I studied a little bit more than when I was young, and I discovered KNX. And I said, oh, okay, this is a standard, this is good, this is a good system for me. And we start working in Spain like system integrators right now. And now next year, I expect to be the new KNX secretary in Spain. And with all my experience and my creativity and my passion about home automations and smart homes, helped or push that market to increase the installations and the sellings, of course.
All right. So yeah, great. Thank you. Pretty much what we've learned is that, yeah, we will have a change of secretary very soon, unfortunately. So Michael, you are going to retire, unfortunately, after 14 years of loyal services to KNX, actually. So for this, of course, we're very happy. And we're also very happy to have Jordi here to take over this, hard task, actually, that Michael was like taking care of. But we're quite sure that everything will turn out well, especially like after we've learned about your experience that you have with KNX and also, of course, with the Spanish market. speaking of the Spanish market, and that would be something that I would like to talk with you, because I guess that our, well, listeners and viewers that found their way to this video would like maybe to learn more about the Spanish market, because we've seen like so many things going on in the last couple of years. Actually, if we just consider it, actually happened within a very short time span. For if you take everything in relation, we have like Spain going through a lot of challenges, going in recessions, joining the EU, coming out of recession, and then facing many challenges over like, yeah, really a short time span actually. And where I would like to go to is here that we would like to, or I would like to know more about like about the challenges for the Spanish market when it comes to the construction side, because like construction affects everybody of us. And therefore, I would like to know more about like the moment until now, where we are currently. What are the three, let's say, most important events or key events, happenings in the Spanish market, let's say in the last 30 years, that you think like, okay, these were the points that really shaped our market the way that it is right now? Maybe starting with the one who experienced most of the happenings, Michael. In this regard, could you maybe let us know like where you see actually the beginning of the construction market, where we are right now until now?
In my opinion, when I started with AFME and with KNX, at this time the main activities on the construction side was on the residential sector. This was also a big advantage from KNX, because a lot of homes were built. Unfortunately, not always with an home and building automation system, but a lot of constructions on homes. But very soon after I started, the first crisis, economic crisis we have suffered in Spain, was very deep, and was especially very deep for the construction side. So even if we maybe, I guess that at the beginning 50% of KNX was on the residential sector and 50% on the commercial sector. This changed due to the crisis, that the commercial sector lost not so deep as the residential, but it was really a very deep crisis on the residential sector. After this first crisis, the balance was a little bit more, not 50-50, but it was a little bit more compensed. And I think that we have a good balance on the Spanish market. That also big companies like in the hotel sector, for example, they are using now a lot of KNX. There are a lot of hotels equipped with KNX. We are also in airports. We are also in the commercial sector, in shopping centers or something like this. In hospitals, we are also a very big active, and in the area of the assisted living, this is also an area where this maybe is coming up, and maybe one of the big areas in the very close future. So I think due to the crisis, the market changed a little bit from one side to one side, but in any case, for KNX, it was not so deep like for the rest of the.
When we talk about the recession, about which year are we talking about? Because I don't think that everybody knows which year we're talking about.
The first crisis was in 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012. This was the first crisis, and now due to the COVID-19, of course, we have another crisis, completely different, but it's also an economic crisis. This was very hard breaks for us. I can say from AFME, I know that some of the members from AFME who are selling not HBES devices, that they lost market about 70–80%, but on KNX it was only 20 or 30%. So KNX was indeed a little bit lucky. So because one of the most important points of the market was that the constructors have learned that they have to give more valid to their products, and this is one big point for KNX. I don't know if you agree with me, Jordi.
Yeah.
Like my way, I just wanted to ask, because in 2008, let's say, when everything went down all over the world in the drains, I think you were also already active professionally. So how did you actually experience the crisis, recession?
Yeah, my second attempt of is just in 2009. So in the beginning of the crisis, I decided to enter to the home automation market again. So I know exactly how is the market, the difficulties about it, and I'm agree with Mitchell. Is for very big and luxury villas, KNX has won the market. Everybody knows and everybody wants KNX. Of course, in Spain, the tourist is one of the most important economical sectors in the country. So hotels and other buildings like that, they understand that KNX can help to improve the services and respect the environment and save money. But private customers want better prices and wants easy installing, and of course to have more comfort and luxury than others. And now, maybe 5 years ago, people are more thinking in green and in security. So this is a 3 big challenge for KNX in Spain too. And the prices of hardware is less than 10 years ago. So we are more competitive in using KNX. And our focus is to everybody understand how it works and the wiring we need, and try to show everything is easy. So we can help. We need help, all the sector, all the professionals, because if not, people change the mind, change the usual projects. They don't like it. So
yeah, that was also my question actually that I had ready here. Also because like the crisis affected like everybody, but it also must have had an impact on the customers, right? So my question that I have here then would be like, have you experienced that the demand of the customers have changed? So maybe they had like a focus on this in the year 2007, but let's say in 2010, they're focusing more on something else, which is due to the crisis. Do you have you experienced anything like that a change in demand has changed?
Yeah. At the beginning of the crisis, people are in shock. Everybody is afraid about how big is the crisis, but of course, in that kind of crisis, rich people are more rich than before, and the poor people are more poor. So the rich people has money, and rich people wants KNX system. So for that, KNX has maybe, because it's only focused in luxury or rich final customers, the demand increases a lot, in my opinion, that years. The problem is how, if we want to penetrate the middle market of the middle class of people, who decides is the constructor, is the promoter, is the So we need to convince that kind of customer that everything is okay, everything is it works fine, and the customers, talking with them, they said, yeah, now the young people for that kind of people, for constructors or promoters, is people around 40 years old, and people from with 40 years old demands wants KNX or technology at home. Older people like 50, doesn't matter if the house has KNX or not. So now, fortunately, the young people became older, but all the new people are interested in KNX. So it's another big challenge that the young people becomes old like me, and that kind of people are used to and wants technology at home.
Yeah, of course, like this brings pretty much like everything also over the years. And we also see it with the growth of smart homes and smart buildings that, yeah, more people will or want the technology in their house. You mentioned before that the price of hardware went down, and I would think that, maybe that did not have like an immediate reaction to the KNX market. But do you think that maybe the crisis also made KNX better available now after, let's say, Spain came back on his feet, that KNX was like, let's say, more demanded by other people because you said that the price for hardware went down?
Well, in the new constructions, KNX is the only system to use. The others is for small and gadgets, like the other systems are or private systems that in Spain nobody wants to install it. And in existing houses, maybe people with Apple or the new actors in the sector buys a camera, buys a thermostat, maybe, but who makes a new house, KNX wins the war. Everybody knows that KNX is the correct system to do it. And the price helps that people that all they want is not so expensive that they expect. So they are happy with that. So most of them decides to install it.
All right. So I think when we had shadow, like when Spain had to go through the recession, there was most likely also sun, and I guess like that the sun makes now everything grow that you were planting during the time of, let's say, when it was not as bright as it's now, but I think now it even shines brighter than it did before. Right. That brings us also already to the next topic that I would like to talk about, because we were talking more about, like, let's say, the Spanish market with, of course, focus on KNX, because we have this interview organized by KNX Association, of course. But now I would like to go like really deep into KNX, and also like how KNX has developed, how you have like experienced KNX from the beginnings, like maybe that would be for you, Michael, and all the way till now. What we have to say is that Spain is a huge market for KNX, so it's definitely in the top 5, if not even top 3 of all the KNX markets that we have. We have more than 8,000 certified devices available. So the question, therefore, that I would like to bring to the viewers or listeners, respectively the answers that I would like to bring, is where was KNX actually first used? So the market of Spain has developed a lot, as we learned before, but where was KNX used before, and how did we get to where we are right now? So Jordi, you said before that mainly KNX was used in the, let's say, higher segment, more commercial segment, a bit high class. And I guess that was also like the beginning how maybe, Michael, when you started with AFME, how KNX was actually perceived, right? So KNX being just a technology for the commercial sector, right?
Correct. Yes. As Jordi told before, maybe 20 years ago, KNX was mainly for the luxury sector, and due to the crisis in 2009, 2010, really the commercial sector grows very fast in comparison to other sectors. So when I started with KNX in 2007, it was really a big change on the market. I think that now we are again back that the residential sector is at least the same importance than the commercial sector. I think it is very close to be very close. It depends also on in which area we are speaking. If we are speaking close to the beach, of course there are a lot of hotels, and of course there are a lot of luxury villas. So maybe it's not 100% the same as in the center of Spain. The center of Spain, maybe there is more industry, more hospitals, more airports, or whatever. So it is not 100% the same situation everywhere. In the Canarian Islands, of course, there is tourism, hotels, and this is a very big market there.
So do you also see it like that?
Well, another point is at the beginning, yeah, when I started with home automation systems 20 years ago, KNX exists, but you must convince that the technology works. It really works. It's a correct system. You must argument a lot about the technical characteristics. But now everybody knows that KNX is a good system, is the best system, is a standard system. So this is okay. It's perfect. Everybody understands that this is the system. And now we have a big catalog of products, different kind of thermostats, different kind of actuators, different kind of sensors. So it's easy to make a good offer to each sector in the market. So we can offer good solutions for hotels, but in different hardware, we can offer different or better solutions for homes on residential sector. So, and if we show what kind of sensors in the architects, they fall in love about one of them. And because we have 500 producers or manufacturers, so we have a big catalog. 500 yet?
More than 500.
More, yeah. So this is very good for system integrators. It's good for the market. The price are lower than that years. And for example, another important is the at the beginning the release of the actuators makes a lot of noise because they're mechanical. Now the sound is very few. So only for that we can convince to the customer on architects this is a good system because the sound is so. Because at the beginning people in the saloon hears clock, and people don't like it. But now, yeah, you can. An argument is you said, yeah, but the sound is in person. Look, yeah, it's not sound. Oh, okay, it's incredible. So people like that kind of thing. So
the technology of 30 years, KNX, we still have like the possibility to change and to evolve. And now our actuators are not as loud as possible. Wow, like. I did not hear before that this would be actually a problem, but I do believe you that if you just like have like, let's say, the cabinet next to you and you always hear like a constant cluck, might be a bit irritating, of course. So like, it's great to hear that actually we have developed in this regard as well. Also maybe here, my question was because we're talking about, or like people think about like Spain always like beaches, crystal clear water and so on, but that's not all about Spain, right? So Spain as country is massive. It's like something that we just need to point out. Also, do you see any differences between, let's say, the different regions of Spain, how KNX is like asked for. Maybe starting with you, Jordi.
Yeah, it's quite different. So in Spain, the coasts are people are more open mind. So because the tourists, because tourists, you need to talk in different languages. So the sea is open than in the middle, in the mountains. So Spain has a good market in the coast, north and Mediterranean. And in the middle of the Spain, Madrid, of course, because it's the capital, has a lot of economical potential. So very rich people, big companies. But in the rest, few people and conservative people. So there is no so good market. It's not so big. And so, in my opinion, Madrid and Catalonia, of course, and the islands, of course, because the tourists and but yeah, you must. Spain is a very people think that it's only coast, but is one of the countries with the high in English I don't know, but all the center of the Spain is a meseta. Meseta is like Mexico, is 800 meters over the sea, big plain, but too high. So it's not only beaches, there are a lot of mountains. It's cold country too, and there are very different regions, and the necessities of each are different. So you must understand for each part of Spain what they need.
All right, Michael, can you confirm this?
Yes, I can. I am absolutely in the same opinion. We have seen that, as I told before, that and Jordi says it also. And on the coast, there are a lot of business for KNX, not only in hotels, not only in the luxury villas area. There are a lot of jobs to do. What we are seeing that step by step in the central area where is no big tourism, we can see that in the assistant living, this is a business that is starting. It has started one maybe 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, and now in the next 10 years it will be a very big market for us, even in this area. And there KNX has a lot to say. For me, it is maybe it sounds a little bit strange, but for me, the pandemic from COVID-19, the Spanish people has learned to stay longer in his home. 20 years ago, the people lived on the street, but now they are living more in their home, and now they see that they need to have more comfort and to have more energy saving in their homes. So this is a very big
because you said people lived on the street. I think what you meant was like that the life was happening on the street, but that everybody was homeless, right?
No, of course not. But the people wants to speak with the neighbor and to be on the beach, to be on the street, to be wherever. And now they are very much longer in their home. I as German, I know that we in Germany we live more than the half of our time in our home, not in outside of the home. So this was completely different in Spain at the beginning. Now the people have learned that they have to improve their homes to have more energy saving, to have more technology. So this helps for KNX a lot.
Well, the reason why we stay in most of the time is because we don't have as nice weather as you do in Spain. Huh?
Yes,
so,
of course.
Plays into it, yeah. But maybe like also to finalize like at least this point, and also getting back to something that Jordi said before. We have like very, let's say, conservative people living, let's say, in the rural areas. But as we've also learned that with assisted living means like people of course get older, so it would be good if they have like let's say some kind of support in their house based of course then on KNX. That would be then very ideal. But Jordi, you also said like that young people also turn older and they pretty much bring then also new technology with them. So I guess that we can like look very much forward to the next coming 10 years and like see how KNX will also penetrate this market due to, let's say, the rising demand for technology as such. So I think that we are looking forward to very nice times. And also like as you said, Michael, since now with this COVID-19 pandemic that we unfortunately all are experiencing, people start to really enjoy staying, or like they want to enjoy staying at home. So there's also like quite a high demand for technologies. Also, I can say like for myself, like I also have some little gadgets with which I'm playing, and they do make a little difference when you just can talk to your house instead of like going all the way in order to switch off the lights. So I guess this is like something that we all can take from, let's say, pandemic and changing demographics. So I guess like next 10 years will be very interesting. But I think this was now a perfect bridge actually to the next part that I would like to talk with you about. I see that also time is running a little, but I think that we definitely need to talk about your expectations and your views about the future. So as we've seen that like KNX has become bigger and bigger and things are moving on, so many changes. One big change is that Michael is going to retire. Jordi, you're going to take over that boat. So maybe like a question from me then is to Michael, like when you are going to retire, what would you like to leave behind for Jordi to take off or to set the great sail? So we still have we have just a couple of months left, right, until the end of the year. So what do we need to do for Jordi to take over very well? Respectively, what does KNX Spain have to do to really make it as smooth as possible for Jordi to set sail?
Mm-hmm. For me, during this 14 years, we have tried a lot of, there are two tasks, and I am sure that Jordi will have a lot of work to do, and I am absolutely sure that he will manage it perfectly. For me, there are two tasks that I was not able to fulfill, and hopefully he will do. The first thing is that we need more members in our KNX national group who are not always the same. We have manufacturers, we have distributors, we have integrators, we have installers, we have training centers, but we don't have architects, we don't have promoters, we don't have people who are, let's say not 100% in the KNX business, but they are very, very close to the KNX business, and hopefully we can convince them to be also a member from KNX Spain. And the other task that I hopefully Jordi will do is that we have in Spain now officially 7,500 KNX partners. I know that a lot of them, they are no longer active, and there are KNX partners, but never in their life they have nothing to do with home automation. But even if there are maybe 3,000 or 4,000 or 5,000 KNX partners still active, but in our association we have only 50. So I think we should convince a lot of them to be members of KNX Spain, because this is a very big advantage for the national group, of course, but also for them and for the complete market. If we all together work in one direction, this will be very helpful for all the players on the sector. May it be a manufacturer, may it be a distributor, may it be whatever.
Yeah, I would try. I think the one of the tasks most important in next years is to make it easy, help the sector to understand and decide to install KNX. So we must to give arguments for the final customers, and that final customers ask to the electricians and architects that what they want, and the architects, electricians, and other companies in the sector can ask to us, to the KNX Association in Spain, by help, and we must provide solutions, we must provide the new functions, we must provide services to facilitate their work and convince that KNX is the best election, the best choice for their own business, and make work together, giving the correct message in different kind of potential customers in Spain. So architects, electricians, final customers, the correct message, helping and facilitate all the work, and convince them that KNX Association in Spain can help, can facilitate, can help to increase their business. And yeah, this is, I'm sure I will focus in that, and for benefit of the KNX manufacturers and distributors. So more customers, more benefits, more customers, more projects, are more money. So Spain is ready to increase the KNX market, and for that we must to offer a good solution, good offers in different kind of people. So create the correct message is the most important, and using website and social media, we must to be succeed in show and but people understand our message.
Maybe a question to both of you, because like we've had the focus on, let's say, the challenges for KNX Spain, of course, which are of course like very important. But from a technological point of view, what do you think that KNX would have to do in order for being better accepted by the market?
In my opinion, KNX must be the technology market is changed very, very fast, and it appears new actors like Apple, like Amazon, like so. I think that manufacturers can be attend and to understand what people want, and make bridges to connect the two worlds. One, the KNX is more in the wiring and electrician world, and the gadgets in the market are more like I don't know. It's
it would also bring me like a question, like also maybe to ask for your feedback about what we're doing, because you know that KNX Association is promoting some topics very strongly. So of course, like KNX IoT, for which the specifications are ready, services with KNX, where we talk about like integrating external services. I think that is like what you were talking about, Jordi. So this is like great activities and focuses that we currently have, services with KNX. And of course, like let's say our prime service integration that we have would be then the energy management with KNX. And energy management here we are talking about like the integration of renewable energies, and also like the integration of the electric car, smart grid, and everything that it takes in order to create a more energy efficient house. These are the points by KNX promoted, like let's say all over the world. Do you think that these points are also the right points for KNX Spain?
Yes, of course. Of course, the IoT is absolutely necessary, because this will be in a very close future will be a big issue. So that our integrators should have an easy tool to work with IoT inside the ETS. No complicated system. It must be very easy for the system integrators to learn how to install an IoT project. And energy management is of course also very important, but maybe that is more a political issue, because as in many other countries as well, in Spain as well, the big companies who are supplying energy, they have a lot of power on the political level, and to convince them that KNX is one solution for them. They don't want to know if it is KNX or it is ABC or is whatever. They only want to sell energy. Maybe that this will be a little bit more difficult, but we need a good answer if there is a question, and therefore I agree this is very important for us. But we don't should forget that there is still a lot of market open. When I was asked who is your biggest competitor on the market, is it Longmark or is it Zigbee or is it whatever? I said no, nobody from them is our competitor. Our biggest competitor are thousands and thousands and thousands of homes where are no automation system installed, and this is what we have to have in mind also. So simple, easy, and cheap solution for this market is also very important.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree with Michael. So in Spain, at the beginning of the wireless mobile, Spain is the last country in Europe to introduce mobiles for speaking in the street. Nobody uses, but when people watching movies how it works, in very few years, Spain is the country who more people has a mobile phone at home. So it's hard, it's difficult to start, but if it works, everybody wants it. So now, for example, save energy, yeah, of course it's important, but Alexa is shining now. Everybody loves Alexa or Google Home. So this is Spanish market loves that kind of shining hardware, shining solutions. So if KNX can offer a complete the home installation to become a smart home with the correct works, the correct prices, and make it easy to the electricians and architects. Yeah, LON, it doesn't exist. Zigbee, it doesn't exist. So KNX is this own enemy. And if KNX can adapt easy and fast, I think the future is incredible for us.
Okay, that sounds very positive. So it makes me happy that we are, like, let's say, on the right way then also, like, for complicated market, but still very challenging and interesting market such as Spain. Right, so I guess that we've also pretty much reached the end of our little discussion here. It was very interesting, but before I conclude this talk that we have, I would also, because I would like to address the elephant in the room, which is, of course, us staying all at home, as you all can see, due to the given crisis that we have. But maybe also not just focusing too much on the crisis as such, but I would like to ask you in a general manner, although this COVID-19 crisis now put us all in home, but we see that we're all going through a lot of change. Some changes like very complicated, but some changes also for the better. Therefore, like, maybe my question to, let's say, you both again, asking, like, when you are talking about change, let it be about KNX, let it be in general, you both made, like, let's say, your experiences with change as such. Can you maybe give some words of encouragement to the KNX community, maybe also beyond, maybe starting here with Michael, because you have been in the professional sector a bit longer, but of course, Jordi, you've experienced also change from studying computer science and setting up like multiple companies and now being there where you are. So I think that like both of you definitely have something nice to share with the KNX community. So maybe handing over to Michael, what is your word of encouragement?
Yes, of course. There's a change on the market and in the mentality of the people. Of course, there's a change. Some issues, like for example the work from home. This maybe 5-6 years ago was only 3 or 4 or 5% of the time of the workers who are working from home. This will stay for longer time in a lot of companies, because a lot of companies have learned that they can save a lot of money if the people are working from home and not in the office. But as I told before, the Spanish mentality is to join, to be together, to speak to each other. So big events like a fair where the people come together and they can talk face to face to one another, to drink a little beer or a little wine and talk about whatever they want. This will come back very soon, as soon as it may be possible to have a safe possibility to have and fair. I think that some changes will stay, and this is good for us, for KNX, and for the community, for the whole community as well. And in others we will come back to a normal life that it was 2 years ago. So I think we can learn a lot of this pandemic, what we have suffered, and most of that what we have learned should be to have a better life than before.
Yeah, in my opinion, that crisis, it's easy to explain that people that their home must be more flexible, more adaptive to the changes, environment changes, life changes, because and the KNX installation can readapt to your lifestyle or the crisis style or the new future style. So when I became an older man, maybe I will rest at home because it's not possible to go to the hospital or residence. So my home must be take care about me, and my KNX installation can help to me to live better. So more KNX must help that to the people that they live more flexible, more adaptive, and more safety. And if we can work and find the correct way to explain that and convince that people, I'm very positive in the future. So I think that the KNX will increase a lot in Spain and around Europe, because these changes is very big, very important. And I think that most of people change their mentality, and they readapt very fast. The different of mentality, usually you need 10 years to readapt. But that crisis, in only 1 year, people advance 10 years in the necessity of technology of the other necessities. So it's good for us, it's good for technology, it's good for KNX. So we must run fast to be the first and offer a good solutions.
All right. So like to summarize, maybe embrace change, be flexible, and always look a step ahead when you want to adapt to all the changes. I think that is pretty much what we say. Pretty much like, yeah, what we also try within KNX. We try to be flexible. We are, of course, as a technology, we need to embrace change, and we always try to stay a step ahead of our technology. Right, then this interview has come to a successful end. I would like to thank very much our guests, of course, here, Michael Sartor, still our KNX secretary of KNX Spain, and Jordi Auladell, soon going to take over. So we're definitely going to hear more from Jordi, from KNX Spain, and of course, like, I'm very sure that it won't be quite around Michael until he goes like to his pension. All right, then I would like to say thank you very much. We stay all in touch, and we embrace KNX stronger in Spain. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.